Hey everyone, this is Nikki dxgirly. It has been a year. 2020 has been crazy. I know I haven't made a video since July and I apologize for that. Things have been kind of all over the place, ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs all year long. So, but I wanted to make the end of the year BJD tag for 2020. It's kind of been stressing me out a bit to do it. So I thought, today's the December 30th. So tonight I'll film it. I'm gonna film it really casual, like it's not my normal background, as you guys know, for sit down videos usually. But I'm just going to chill here by the Christmas tree and kind of do a very laid back end of the year tag. So why have I been stressing about this so much? That kind of ties into the first question of the end of the year BJD tag, which is show us your doll family as it looks at the end of the year. So if you guys remember, I didn't watch last year's video, so I'm kind of forgetting what my resolution was in that video. I think though it was to get bodies. And in a way I accomplished that because around July or August, I was able to get a lot of the minifee heads that you saw in last year's end of the year BJD tag bodies. But then 2020 just acted the way it was, and I ended up selling them at different parts for different things. So yeah, this year has been crazy for my collection. It's just been crazy. So what I'm going to do is, for this question, rather than taking you on a video tour, I still have a lot of floating heads. In fact, I think I have more floating heads this year than I did last year. So rather than take you on a video tour, because they're currently being stored in drawers, the actual heads, because the shelf space is occupied by full dolls, I'm going to scoot you over. And this picture right here is what I took for my Christmas picture for Instagram, basically. Those are all of my dolls that currently have bodies. So that's all the bodied babies. And I'm just going to go ahead, if I can find it on my iPad here. And instead of showing you a video one by one and naming everyone, I'm going to put everyone's picture on the screen. That way you can see also the heads on bodies, because a lot of them share bodies, obviously. Most of the heads are minifee heads. I do have one, I think, that is not, and that regularly swaps with a different head that's on the body in the last picture. But let me just go through all of my dolls over here, tell you their names, what sculpts they are, that I currently have in my collection. So we're going to start with non-minifees. We'll do the minifees at the end, since they make up the vast majority of the heads. So obviously Stasia's still here. Stasia was my very first doll. She was a gift from my friend Sarah Swans and Just Dorks a Lot, and she was my introduction to the BJD hobby. She's a Kid Sky Bobo. Next non-minifee doll is a new addition for this year. This is Serena. She is my little Monica, little Sophia in caramel skin. Beautiful shade she is. I love her skin tone. Love her so much. At one point during the year, I did have 3 little Monica girls in, but I ended up selling 2 of them. But I really wanted to keep Serena because I love her skin tone. It's absolutely gorgeous. And she's my darkest skin tone doll, and I just love that resin. It's really nice resin too. It's kind of like, I don't know why. Okay, this may not even be true, but when the resin feels like it sort of has some sort of tooth to it, it feels nicer to me. Now, I don't know if that's actually a sign of high quality or low quality, but I like it better. So I always think of it as high quality. Okay, so next on the list of non-minifee dolls, we have Harper. Harper is my Doll in Mind Lorena head on a Doll Leaves Dream Body. Great hybrid. The resin match is really, really spot on. I got the Doll in Mind Lorena head. If you don't know, Doll in Mind closed. I don't know if it was, I talked about this in a previous video, but they closed a couple years ago, and they just randomly do short little pre-orders of them for people, and I got one of the extras that they listed on their site. So I still have in my collection, because I did have a lot of dolls come in and go out that you won't see in this video, but I still have Harper, and I don't plan on selling her. I love the Lorena sculpt. Next is Mari, which is short for Mariposa, who is my Sheepy Dolls Sheepy. Sheepy Dolls Sheepy. Sheepy Dolls is the name of the company. It's obviously by the Instagram user Sleepy Sheepy Dreams. That's the head sculpt, is the Sheepy, and I have her hybrided on a Doll Leaves body. It's the original body. She shares it with another doll that will be on the list. But yeah, she came out super cute. I loved doing her face up. She's a lot of fun. She's my only, well, I do have elf heads with minifees with elf ears, but she is my truly only, what would I say, anthropomorphic kind of fantasy type doll in my mind. I pretty much kind of ignore the fact that some of my minifees have elf ears. I don't know. Okay, and then next on the list, we have one of the Dollets dolls I got this year. This is Lizzie. Lizzie is a Dollets Miso. She does have the company face up and that beautiful smile. I know that if I had tried to do a face up on this doll, it would have come out terrible. The open mouth and teeth intimidated the shit out of me. So I just got her with the company face up. I believe it was the B face up, so the newer one, because they had you could pick between 2 different styles. So yeah, I went with the B face up, and she is super cute. I love her. Just looking at her makes me happy. So yeah, that's Lizzie. And then the other Dollets doll I got this year is Riley. She's a Dollets Somi. I did choose to do her face up. One thing I will say about Dollets, if you plan on getting a Dollets dolls, I feel like they're so underrated. Like, people don't really talk about them, but their company face ups are beautiful. Beautiful. And I love how you can pick between one or the other on the dolls. But yeah, she had a beautiful company face up, but I decided to just do my own on her. So that's Riley. Next, we will go into a Fairyland doll who is not a minifee, who is Roxy. That's a recycle of a name if you've been with me for a while. She's my Fairyland Feeple 60 Chloe. She's my only SD doll. She doesn't get the love she deserves, I don't think. I do really enjoy her though. she's very pretty. I think her face up came out nice. She is wearing a synthetic wig that I had originally just was getting her the synthetic wig so she'd have something to wear in the meantime. And I was going to eventually get her an alpaca wig. But it's grown to be her so much that I don't know if I'll ever get her an alpaca wig now, because it just looks like her. And if you remember correctly, if you've been with me for a long time, it's basically a different size of the wig that my old mini soup Hyle had. Is just a larger size, and she's wearing it. But this exact same wig from, I think it's a Leak World wig. I got it from Denver Doll. So yeah, that's Roxy. I do want to get her some friends someday in her size, you know what I mean? It kind of drives me nuts when I only have one doll of a size. So I do want to eventually branch out into other SDs one day. I'm not the biggest fan of her body. I know a lot of people really love the People 60 Moe body, but mine, maybe it's a SD thing in general, but she tends to flop forwards like a lot at that hip joint. Like she's not sturdy straight up. She flops very easily. So she does stand really well and she poses well otherwise. It's just like when I'm holding her up for a picture, she has a tendency to fall forward, and that it bothers me a little bit. But that could totally be like a weight thing with SDs in general. I remember watching a lot of Swans' videos about her difficulties with SD size bodies. So I don't know, someone feel free to correct me in the comments. Next on the list is Cat. Cat is my Bimong Nare 402. She's a 402 head on the 41 centimeter fusion body, two-piece body, I believe. The way Bimong has their dolls, this is a little different from what I'm used to. But their dolls are so customizable. I love watching Bimong on Instagram. He does live streams all the time working on the dolls, nearly every day basically. So definitely give him a follow on Instagram. He's a very nice guy too. Every time I've communicated with him, he's been so kind. And the doll is amazing. She poses. She's hands down my best poser. The body is so flexible, and I believe if I had chosen to get the 3-part torso, she'd be even more posable than what I have now. I wasn't really thinking clearly when I bought her. I posted her box opening on this channel, and like I bought the one with all the different hands and feet without meaning to. I was just very confused when I bought her. I wasn't thinking when I bought her, clearly. But she's a beautiful doll. She came out beautiful. She's wearing a wig from Hopeful Creation, who has been a new friend this year. So she came out lovely. Next up on the list is my Haru casting dolls. So first up we have Riku, who is my Haru casting Maji. In Maji, I believe it's mild tan I got her in. And then next we have Lulu, who is my Haru casting Big Geru. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I have never heard someone say it aloud, so... But there you go. And then we have Yuna, who's next, who is my Haru casting Joa. Again, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not. And you'll notice a pattern with their 3 names. I did name them after characters in Final Fantasy X, if you're familiar with that. And then finally, to round out my Haru casting girls, I have Ducky. Ducky is an E minor by Haru casting, and she does have the face up that was offered when she was originally made. Ducky is my only secondhand doll that I've bought. Stasia was obviously a secondhand doll, but the only secondhand doll that I bought as a full doll myself. So I got her from my friend Maury Yarns, I think her Instagram name is. I'm forgetting now. But she had quite a story. She got stuck in Chicago Customs for quite a while. But she finally came home. She has a beautiful face up by, I believe she goes by several names. I think Bliss Acosta is one of them. So yeah, that's Ducky. She's named after a show that my fiance and I binged basically all summer. We watched NCIS together all summer, the entire series. So that was fun. And Ducky was one of my favorite characters. Next up, we have a newer addition to the doll family. This is Mishka. She is a Supia doll mini soup Sujin. So, and she's in their light tan skin. And then after her, we have Lola, who is a Supia doll mini soup Dorothy, who is she's actually just a floating head. She shares right now with Mishka bodies, because she was a total surprise. I did not order her. Supia doll included the mini soup Dorothy head as just an extra to apologize for my order taking so long. So that was a surprise, a nice surprise. I will have to get her own body one day though. And then next, who I got a little bit earlier in the year, I ordered the mini soups really close together, but the normal skin one, this one, the mini soup Hyul, and she has been in my collection before. I bought another one, and I did keep the name I originally had for her, Layla, but she looks completely different, as you can see from my original Layla, and I like that about her. But she ended up coming way before the Tan Sujin, so yeah. And then let's see. My newest, is she my newest arrival? I think she was. Misty, my Mystic Kids Beth, came in. And I ordered her from Alice's Collections back in May. And she got held up by the other thing in my order, which I will talk about in a moment. I'm not sure how I feel about Misty. At some point during the year, I did have another Mystic Kids doll, and I ended up selling her. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. She may end up not staying with me forever. I'm kind of iffy on her now. I'm kind of letting her do her own thing in my collection at the moment and see where it goes. But I'm kind of so-so on her. And then I believe I got through all of the... Oh, one more non-minifee doll is Iris. She is a Doll Family H non-Zing. If I'm saying that correctly, I do not speak Chinese at all, so I could totally be butchering that. I apologize. She's originally a male sculpt. I bought just the head. She's a hybrid on the Doll Leaves body, the original body she shares with my sheepy. I do want to get her own body this year. But yeah, that's Iris. She's super cute. Okay, and now because we're at 19 minutes and I've been blabbing and haven't even shown you all of the first question, we're going to go through the minifees fairly quickly. I'll tell you their names and their sculpt names, but I won't blather on. So first up we have Kiki. She's my minifee auntie. Then we have Mimi, my minifee Mio. Next is Lena, my minifee Alicia. Then Noah, my minifee Renz. We have Quinn, who is one of my minifee Halloween 2018 event heads. She's also known as the human Huayu. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hwayu sculpt. She's the human version of that sculpt. She was the event head that year. So I have two of these. There's Quinn, and then there's her twin, Daria. Then next up is Akame, my minifee Rhea. Then we have Tessa, who is my minifee Suni, she was also an event head. She was the jury 2014 event head, so the summer of 2014 event head. Then we have Nelly, who is my minifee Honoka, or Honoka, however you want to say that. Then we have Kennedy, who is my minifee Flam, I call her, Flam. It is an acronym, and she's also known as the Fairyline RA event head. But that's her. We have Delilah, my minifee Shushu. Then we have Candy, my minifee Jury 2019 event head, so summer 2019 event head. Then next up is Sunny, my minifee Merwin. Then we have Ailish, my minifee Celine. We have Luna, who is my minifee Maya. Willow, my minifee Chloe. We have Mary, who is my minifee Jury 2013 event head. Then we have Bunny. Bunny is my minifee Carol. We have Vivi, who is my minifee Luca. Then we have Asuna, who was named, Asuna and Akame were both named by my fiance Jimmy, but Akame is a minifee 1920 Nanuri event head. And then we have, who do we have? Cassidy, who is my minifee Circa. We have Mia, my minifee Momo. We have Lexi, my minifee Sarang 2020 event head. Becca, my minifee Rion, if I'm saying that correctly. Then we have Mandy, my minifee Rin. And finally, to round out my collection, we have Carissa, my minifee Rise, or Reese. I've always said Rise in my head, so that's what you're gonna get. But those are all the dolls I have right now. I know it's 40 something dolls if you count the heads as full dolls, but 20 something are heads, so I don't know. It's a lot, and it is a little bit overwhelming, I will admit to you, but mostly because they're just heads and not full dolls, and that kind of aggravates my want to have everyone complete, you know. So finally, 23 minutes in, on to question number 2. How many doll videos did you make this year? So let's go back and look and see how many doll videos I actually made, because I didn't prepare. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos. That's horrible. I'm sorry. I've done horrible on YouTube this year. But this year has obviously been the craziest for a lot of people in a long time. So I'm kind of being a little forgiving of myself, trying to take it easy on myself, not to be too harsh. What was my first video of 2020 about? I believe it was it was a wine and dollies. Back when I was calling them wine and dollies. Basically a chit-chatty video, update video. How many pictures on any site or medium did you take or upload this year? So I I have no way of counting all the pictures that I take because it would just be basically impossible for me. I don't post everything that I take, but I can tell you how many videos I posted this year on Instagram. So I did my top 9 like just before I started this video, and I made 321 posts this year on Instagram that ended up staying like, so not like sales posts. The only posts I really archive are sales posts. So 321 photos this year on Instagram. Show us the first picture of the year. I didn't prepare, but I guess I'll have to do my homework when editing. So I'm gonna edit the crap out of this video anyways, obviously. So that was my first picture of the year. Tell us the best thing that happened to you in the doll hobby this year. So, that's a little bit tough for me. The best thing that happened to me in the doll hobby this year. I mean, I guess getting so many dolls that I had admired for so long, that were kind of like, a lot of people have hardcore grail dolls in this hobby, and I don't really consider myself having one. But if mini grails were a thing, I had really wanted to get a Haru casting doll, and I definitely did that. So I guess achieving I know I went into 2020 thinking I was going to forever focus on mini fees. I know I said that at the beginning of the year. And that's what I wanted, but I actually, after a while, decided to diversify my collection again. So that's probably the best thing that happened this year. Open to new kinds of dolls and open to new experiences. Number 7, tell us the worst thing that happened to you in the doll hobby this year. I think the worst thing that happened for me this year was, it's so hard to describe. It was my own frustrations with myself. I got a lot of dolls in this year that I got in, and different circumstances happened, and I had to sell different things shortly after getting them in. And when I did that, I was panicking. I was acting out on my anxiety, and if I had just let things play out and given things time, I didn't really have to sell those dolls and those bodies. We totally could have made it through without that if I had just relaxed, taken things in, taken problems in, and kind of, not been so neurotic about fixing potential problems in, our financial situation and stuff like that. So if I had just chilled a bit, I would not have to have sold like all those bodies I got for the mini fees. Selling some things at some points were beneficial and ended up playing out really well. But most of the time it was just me overreacting and panic selling stuff. And that's not good for me. That's not good for my mental health. It's not good for how I feel about my doll collection. So I guess the worst thing that happened to me in the doll hobby this year was struggling with myself. I guess kind of realizing to learn some things about myself and how to learn better coping mechanisms than I was having, basically. Show us your 3 favorite things that you got this year. So, this is a tough one, and I probably should have looked these up before I started this. I did bring a doll over. So this is my Haru casting Big Garu, Lulu. She is my favorite doll purchase of the year. She's so cute. cute. I got her, I originally bought the Haru casting dolls on a whim. I think I've told the story in one of my Dolly Rambles videos. But I got her on a whim after kind of talking about smiling sculpts with my friend Pip. And so yeah, she is my favorite doll of the year, I guess. Doll purchase of the year. I think my second favorite is favorite thing, not doll. If I had to pick between all the dolls, it's never gonna happen, picking 3 of them. But my second favorite thing I got this year, not including dolls, would be this, I don't know, it's not really a sweater, it's like a sweatshirt, a hoodie from, she used to be known as Kyrostine Creations. I think I have videos about buying things from her way back on when I started my channel. She's new, what is she known as now? Too Cute Club or something like that. She has her own website now. She's not on Etsy, and she primarily makes her clothes. Her clothes have a very distinct pastel look to them. She primarily makes clothes for smart dolls now, but every once in a while she'll open up her MSD size commissions and take orders for MSD size stuff. So I did catch that hoodie in one of those sales, and I really like it. It's super cute. It looks really good on Yuna in that picture. And then my third favorite thing that I got this year that's not a doll. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. Okay, so these are going to be grouped into one item, but they're really multiple things. My Milk Legs wigs that I got this year from Milk Legs Dolls on Instagram. So she made my doll of mine, Lorena's wig, and she also made Carissa's wig. And then I have 2 more that are for dolls that have not come in yet. And I just love her work. Getting them was a hassle and a half. Actually receiving them after I bought them. But they did make their way to me eventually, so that's all that matters to me. I don't mind waiting. So they did eventually come in, and they're beautiful, beautiful quality alpaca. And the dye jobs are just amazing. I love her colors. Her colorways are beautiful. Okay, and number 9. What is your New Year's resolution going into 2021? So I want in 2021 to definitely not bring in or sell out, go out, as many dolls as I did this year. It was too much on both ends, and I don't want to do it again. So that's part of my New Year's resolution. I do want to get in some bodies. My main focus right now for 2021 is paying off the layaways that I have going on right now. And obviously bringing those dolls home. And so after that, if I am financially able to, I want to focus on, once those are all paid off, getting some bodies for all the heads. It's going to take a long time, and I just need to realize it's going to take a long time. So yeah, gotta learn to have some patience in this hobby. Not only with shipping things, but with my own outlook on things in general. Does that make sense? And there are a couple dolls that I'll mention that I do want to get in 2021 that have not been released yet. So, and they're both Haru casting dolls. There's Garum who, actually I'll put pictures of them from Horrorcasting's Instagram over here. Garum, who has not been put as available yet, but it should be upcoming soon. He just received the heads back from different face-up artists, so they will be, I think I asked him and he said March. He's gonna make a pre-order for her and Modin, the boy he's working on. I don't collect the boys, obviously, but maybe someday. And then also a doll that he's currently working on named, I pronounce it, Moray. She's beautiful. She's actually going to have a new body of her own. I believe Garum's going to be on the Joa body, and Moray will have a newer body. It's going to be shorter than his current girls. So shorter than the Maji, Joa, and E minor body, with proportions more like a mini fee, I guess he said. So he's still working on her though, but I would love to bring her home, especially. Like if I could only have one doll that I'm not already paying towards in 2021, it would be Moray. She's beautiful. So yeah, that was my tag for this year. Sorry it was so long. Everyone else's videos are so short. And I kind of prattle on forever, but I'm sure you guys are used to that with me by now. I hope some of you enjoyed seeing this video. I'm sorry I went completely MIA. I just paid off the final payment on Horrorcasting Garu twins. Like, this is big Garu, so the MSD size one, but the original Garus are USD, and I bought twins, one with the normal faceplate and one with the smiling faceplate. So I just paid them off last night, and I think he said he's gonna ship today, so that's exciting. They'll be coming in. I'm gonna bring this tripod with me to Jimmy's and film when they come in, since I never ended up filming box openings for any of the Horrorcasting girls. So look forward to that. And I do, obviously one of my New Year's resolutions is to make more videos for you guys on this channel. I kind of fell off the planet as far as YouTube goes. So, but I know a lot of you guys do enjoy seeing them. So I hope you like this one. I hope you had an okay 2020. I know it's been really hard for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. And I hope that 2021 kind of is better for our world in general. And we go back to some kind of normalcy, if that's even possible. Anyways, stay healthy, stay happy, my friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.